Hey, it's your professional sarcastic man and seeker of attention, Oz Chris, here with reviews on Aquaman number 46, Middlewest number 5, and Venom number 12. So starting off with all new Aquaman. Just Aquaman. Turn to salt. Is there any way he can survive? Yes, because, spoiler, he doesn't turn into salt. So, Andy, Aquaman, and Caille have reached the place where her mother Namma is, and Caille is being turned into what she actually really is, the Caille, the remainder of Namma's powers that she needs. And Aquaman's just not going to stand by and let pretty much his only friend, after he's received amnesia, be turned into this, and tries to free her, but he's confronted by Namma, who questions what he is able to, as she stands, how do you stand when the touch of the Caille should have cleaved you in two? You know, answer me, boy, what are you? And it's like, I don't know, but I'm definitely not a boy. Yes, very rarely will I see boys with full-on beards, but despite really having none of his powers and facing off against a goddess, Aquaman's not just going to stand there and let Caille be turned into something she doesn't want to be, and attacks Namma, helping Caille regain control of the powers as the Caille, or at least contain it within herself. But Namma is not defeated there, and turns into a giant freaking dragon. God, this is a really good double page spread. And Aquaman, thinking he's Daenerys Stormborn, jumps onto Namma, and we'll leave it there. So, story 4 out of 5, I will say. This is the penultimate issue to the first story arc, part 4 of 5. So I liked it. Everything's coming together. The villagers, I'm gonna say I freaking called it on who they actually are. They're gonna have a part to play in the finale, and we're met with Namma. We don't really, even though we're introduced to Namma here, it's good that there isn't a lot of exposition of who she is and her plans. We already know that from the previous issue, which told us it in a tale. So it just gets down to the point of it. It's just like, here's Namma. She wants to turn her own daughter into the Caille. Aquaman, Andy, is not going to stand for it, but she is able to restore quite a bit of her power, enough to think that she's going to win, and flies off to enact her plan. So 4 out of 5 for the story. Art by Robson Roca and Sonny Go. Definitely 4 out of 5. There's some parts where it looked a little bit off, but overall the art is great. Art is always, that's been a consistent factor I've been saying for Aquaman. The art here is always at its best, and especially when you have some great double page spreads like this one. This is an amazing looking page. Great cover. 4 out of 5, I would say, for the cover. Even though this Aquaman doesn't really turn into salt, it's more Namma and Caille that kind of do. It's a good cover nonetheless. Could have done a bit more with instead of just a plain black background, but the art overall of Aquaman turning into salt is really good. So on to Middlewest number 5 by Scotty Young. So we start off with a flashback 2 years ago, just to show how much of a douchebag his dad is, and that ties into Abel himself going berserk, his powers going out of control, almost turning into a tornado monster like his dad, but he's stopped by the woman that he's actually looking for, Magdalena, and she promises to help deal with what's going on with Abel, but since he stole in a carnival, he offers to work for her to pay off that debt, but and also wait until whatever spell or what she needs to figure out or fix what's going on with him has been made. And that's pretty much just the main part of the issue. So story 4 out of 5. It's finally actually getting to some plot points, parts of the plot. No, we get a little bit more about, although I don't really think this is necessary. We already know that the dad is a bit of a douchebag, so it wasn't really necessary. But so you could have, this part could have been cut out, but overall the rest of the story was good. We're finally progressing through the plot. Although I think this is like the penultimate issue. I don't know if it's like the first story is like 6 or 7 issues long. I think it's 6 because I think 7 starts a new arc. So this is the penultimate issue. I'm worried it's gonna rush everything in the end. I don't know. We'll see. Art 4 out of 5. Art as always by Jorge Corona and coloring by John Francis Bolu. Great as always. Cover 4 out of 5. Cover by Mike Huddleston. Good looking cover. So on to Venom number 12. Before he decides to join the War of the Realms, we have to finish this plot point. So after Eddie found out that the symbiote Venom is removing more memories and changing memories than he believes, he discovers that Dylan, his little brother, his half brother, is actually his son, his and Anne's son, aka the former She-Venom. Many years ago, she arrived back to Eddie's dad, to Carl, and gave her son to him to look after, because she didn't want Eddie to look after him for obvious reasons. Back then, Eddie wasn't the best that humanity had to offer, and she can't look after him either. So back to present day, seems like Eddie is able to escape from the machine that the Makers put him into, and confronts his father to save Dylan, and pretty much forces him to, in his own psyche, he finally stands up to his father and admits, like, I know I messed up, as he says, I know I messed things up, I know I'm not good, but I'm working on it every day of my life to get better, to do better. That's why you're here and not underground. I'm not going to let you hurt that child anymore, Kyle. I'm not going to let you hurt my son. And he just leaves him alone and takes Dylan back. There's a little twist here with Venom here. I won't spoil it, but I'll leave it there. Story 4 out of 5. I really liked it. Nicely wrapped up this whole Venom slowly returning back to normal, the whole erasing of memories, Eddie's son Dylan, all that. Nicely wraps all of it up. 4 out of 5. Art by, Joshua Cassara and coloring by Rain Barreto. 4 out of 5. I really like the art, and especially this, like the flashback. I would say the flashback probably had like the best of the art and the coloring, and I think same when Eddie confronts his father. Art there was really good as well. Cover 4 out of 5. Although the Maker really doesn't do anything. The Maker was very underutilized in this story arc, I will say. So yeah, but 4 out of 5. The art and the coloring on it is good, even though the Maker really doesn't do that much in this issue. And I almost forgot. I also got the Spider Villains variant for it, because it's by Ryan Stegman, and it looks good. It's a good looking cover, and it's if I remember correctly, it's the only one of the Spider variants where the actual title character is on the cover. Because if you've been seeing the Spider Villain variants, you'll note a lack of the actual title characters on the cover. So like there was an X-23 one where Spider-Man and Rhino on the cover, but I was thinking, hey, where's X-23? You know, the person who is like, this book is named after. And like one for Avengers where there was Green Goblin fighting Spider-Man. It's like, oh, hey, is Spider-Man an Avenger again? Is Green Goblin an Avenger? Where are the Avengers? This is their book. Where are they on the cover? Just, Marvel has always been lazy with like theme variants. It's just like, but with the Venom one, it is literally the easiest one to get because it's called Venom, and Venom is a spider villain. Was a spider villain, but it's literally the easiest of all the variants to make because it's like I said, it's but it was good art anyway, and I was willing to pay an extra, drop a few more to get this cover. So that is all for Venom, Middlewest, and Aquaman. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.